Dacey, you wanted to finish pre-season with a win, and you've done just that. A pretty comfortable performance this afternoon. Your thoughts on that one?
Disappointed with the goal we conceded, but I'm not going to knock too much about that. We're going to have teething problems with little things. But we spoke about the periods when we were on top. It's important that we score. Tuesday we were on top first kind of 15 minutes and then ended up 1-0 down. So to not only score one but to score two in probably the first 3 or 4 attacks was very pleasing. And then after that, which we addressed at half time, we just got a little bit carried away with maybe trying to score more. And we needed to kind of control that phase of play and let them get on top, and then conceded from something that was probably avoidable. And then I think half time kind of came at the right time, and we was able to address the solutions that we now needed to find. And yeah, second half, bar them having a couple of shots in stoppage time, thought we were comfortable, thought we created a lot of chances. The scoreline could have been higher, but probably from both sides. And yeah, just happy to end it with a win, happy to have hopefully kind of turned the fan base around from what they saw against Farnham to what they've seen this week.
So we'll touch on the positives, and I felt that we really basically played at full throttle for basically 90 minutes, didn't we? We were constantly pressing, constantly trying to win the ball back, and when we turned it over, we moved it quite quickly.
That's pretty much what we're about. Aggressive, fast-paced football, whether that's on the ball or whether that's off the ball. I'm not taking my time, nor on my staff, my players, and any of you guys travelling around, the south of the country to watch somebody else have a football. We're here to dominate, again, on and off the ball, and the fundamentals of what we've put in place over the last 6 weeks starting to now really show.
Obviously, Nyren scoring his first goal back for the club. How big is it to get him scoring and firing on all cylinders today?
To be fair, mate, everybody, it's actually not his first. Sevenoaks was, but
Oh, rubbish! Oh, that's a fuming with that. Nyren's first goal back at Champion Hill. That's a big thing for him.
Even better. Look, he's
fuming with that.
He's the prince here. He's top dog. So we spoke about players all contributing. Everybody's got to try and get goals here. If we can get 10 to 15 from the front lads, and then 5 to 10 from the boys behind, it was important. Nyren played a different role today because Millsy was missing. I thought he was a problem. Luke was a problem. Lonit was a joke. Brian did really well. Try this day. So yeah, look, it was great to get different goal scorers. It was great to create the amount of chances that we did, and ultimately today the 3 goals was enough to lead us to the win.
Obviously, the most pleasing thing is our team play. When we moved the ball, we really moved the ball, and that really showed for the second goal. Alfie, a lovely switch over to Luke, and then Luke into Lonit, and Lonit curled it in far corner. But it seems to be a quite a good formation forming between Lonit and Alfie as well, isn't it?
They're both very, very comfortable on the ball. Both natural footballers, and they understand what we want. And when you get players like that, you have to allow the freedom for them to play. They understand where we want them to play and what pitches we want to hit, and that comes down to other people moving, but they're seeing the pitches and they're becoming effective, and that for us is really important. And the great thing about that is you can bring Amadou into that fray, and he gives you that. Sean Bonnet-Johnson as well, and Wince a couple of times when he's played in there. So we're looking at real strength in depth, because every game's going to bring something different. White Hawk away is different to playing at Champion Hill. So yeah, those two today, and I thought Tuesday have really started to click, and yeah, been really pleasing to see.
So we designed pre-season to be competitive, so then when we hit the league season, we were kind of ready in competitive football. So you must be pretty pleased to finish it with a valuable win.
I'm happy with, as silly as it sounds, 3 wins, 3 defeats and a draw. It's not a bad turnover. I'm not too fussed about who we lost. I wasn't too fussed about the manner in which we lost, because actually we've played well in more spells than not in every game, bar possibly Farnham. So I look at them and I'm not too fussed at that scoreline. So we knew Bracknell were going to give us tests. They did. I thought they played very well. I thought they played a shape that gave us problems. But like I said, when I kind of first took over from the club, and what we said to the players first time we met them, that we have solutions and we're solution based, and we had to adapt a couple of times during the game, and the boys did that really well. And the fact that they know that certain things lead to a trigger for them to be changed is brilliant, because opposition teams are going to have plans for different things, and as long as we concentrate on ourselves and understand the strengths and weaknesses of the opposition, I'm hoping this year can be more successful than what unfortunately it's been the last couple.
And obviously now the dress rehearsals are all done, competitive football's back. How excited are you for Dartford next weekend?
I'm excited because pre-season's great and it's an opportunity to try different things out, but ultimately win, lose or draw, you're only really looking at performance, because you don't lose sleep over the result. The beauty of it now comes from every team that played competitively today and next week, that it means something. Now all of a sudden there's a table to look at, there's form tables to look at, there's everything. So we've got a very hard first game, but we're not hiding from anybody, and we'll take the game to Dartford as fully as I'm expecting them to bring it to us.
And finally then, we haven't spoken about them too much, but what's your message to our supporters heading into the next 9 months? What do you and the team need from them as much as they need these levels of performances from you guys?
Strap yourself in. Going to be a bumpy ride. Look, ultimately, I don't know how many, there would have been people that haven't watched us yet pre-season, so they can only kind of get a preconception of, word of mouth and what they see on social media. And those that have been would have seen parts first time we were here, and then Tuesday and today would have seen a clear identity, a team that cares. I'm not saying the previous didn't, but a team that is willing to die for the badge because they understand what the badge means, with a lot of them being from South. We're going to lose football games this year, and for me, I've got no problem with people having an opinion on their say, whether that's in the stands, to my face, or on social media. But ultimately, we get more from you from backing us in the times when it's good and the times when it's not going to be so good, and maybe when we're on a little bit of a sticky run. It's really important to us, and the same to any club. But what I will guarantee is you will be entertained and you will enjoy it. And if we can get them on side with us and travelling, packing out here and travelling away, we're really going to give it a shot to, try and push the club up as much as possible and fight for silverware in the cups as well.
Dacey, we'll leave it on that one, and I look forward to catching up after Dartford. Cheers, mate.